What's up, everybody? My name is Quoy, and I'm a female that loves sneakers and anything that has to do with them. I got a chance to sit down with two of the homies that's doing their thing in the sneaker community and pretty well involved. So since you got this far, you need to sit down, check us out, and come kick it with us. Do you come from a background of sneaker collecting, or were you always reselling?
Well, my background is I'm an artist at heart. I'm a graphic designer. Got my bachelor's in graphic design.
Okay.
So I was always in art and fashion. And then when you being from Harlem, I was just always on top of things, you know. I didn't mind shopping and looking around, and that was always my thing. So sneakers came about 4 years ago. And that's when a friend of mine that went to junior high school with, he was a big collector. And he kind of schooled me on the sneaker game about collectibles and how they're worth something and so forth. He had actually introduced me to Flight Club.
Now, you were telling me that you have an art background and art tells a story. Is that, like, how in comparison do you feel that art is the same as shoe design?
Well, in comparison, I always tell people, sneakers to me is like art on a wall. You know, the more you understand the significance, the background, who created it, what era was it created. You know, once you understand all the meanings and details behind it, you understand why that art or that painting is so valuable. You know, I could pay something and you would never buy it, but I could get a Picasso painting and it's millions of dollars. You know, they both are, but one has more significance. And that's the same thing with the sneaker game. Once you understand the significance behind it, just like a Yeezy, going back to what I said, once you understand why the Yeezy is called, you know, why that shoe is called a Yeezy, and the significance behind it, then you understand why you pay so much.
So tell me about a time that, you know, what got you really into sneakers?
Well, I gotta take y'all way back when I was a little crumb snatcher, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I think I've heard a lot of people talk about their childhoods. They haven't had the best childhoods, and I can remember a point where I couldn't afford many sneakers, right? And I straight had holes in my joints, like big toe popping out and everything. And I remember I made a promise to myself that when I got older and I was able to, you know, buy whatever shoe that I wanted, I would make up for that time of not having, you know, the things that I wanted. And so as I got older, eventually some sneakers fell into my lap, and hence GOLDBAR Kicks was born. I started doing, you know, getting into the reselling thing and just trying to see how I could bring something unique to the sneaker culture, seeing what I could add to the staple of, you know, something that was already big, but put my little stamp on it. And one of the biggest things I worked on was customer service, making sure that my clients knew that they were going to get a good product, that they were going to get real products, that it was going to be there on time. And I feel like a lot of sneaker companies, they fail at that, you know. Horrible shipping. You know, it's not about getting the product out. It's about how your customer feels at the end of the day. Values on older shoes that I loved as a kid. It's very hard to, you know, back in the day when a lot of people weren't into sneakers, you could freaking have a Jordan that hadn't released in years, you know what I'm saying? Like the Columbia 11s, like that was huge. If you had an old pair of those, you were a man. Exactly. Now everybody got a pair. That's so corny, you know what I'm saying? So I think that, you know, having the pieces of my childhood and not necessarily being able to get my hands on them is what drove me to get into the sneaker thing. But now that everyone has them, I'm just like...
Go back to when you said your first, I think it was your first pair fell in your lap, and that's kind of what got you started with
GOLDBAR. Yes.
What first pair was that?
Oh, that was the South Beach LeBrons.
Oh,
I actually had... And the crazy thing was, I didn't know anything about sneaker reselling. I was probably one of the few females that was actually reselling at that point. And it all just, I had a connection at Foot Locker. I asked someone to get me 2 more pairs, and then I put them on Instagram. And then from there, everybody started asking me to get them shoes. My disconnect with the sneaker industry and the sneaker business, and the reason why I stopped reselling was people get greedy. I didn't want to be a part of an industry that didn't allow me to take care of my people. At one point, GOLDBAR Kicks was a company where I did a lot of consignment pieces. I went from reselling to doing consignment. I turned GOLDBAR Kicks into an Instagram business, into a business that was not only sourcing sneakers for people. I started working with a couple of celebrities, and that's how it goes. Because word gets on the street that GOLDBAR Kicks got. I worked with Tank. I worked with Saya from. She has that birthday song now with Chris Brown. I've worked with a couple of different people and have had the privilege to meet them. I think that if any business owner, any sneaker owner is trying to be great at reselling or whatever it is that you do with sneakers, I think that if you're more passionate about your customers and clients, that the money will always be there for you. But we sometimes tend to get messed up when we're just thinking about the money aspect of things. So.